Hi again. I just wanted to add like a few notes to try and convince you why we need to have raw files. A raw file is an image that contains the information possible for your camera to capture. So that's why it's really great, and I'll show you why it's different in editing. And a JPEG, which we're most often familiar with, it's been compressed. It's been like slightly enhanced, but there's not as much information left. So you might not love the way your raw images look at first, but when you see what you can do with them, you're going to get excited. So this is a picture of my daughter, and this is actually an outtake. So this is one that I didn't really love, she didn't really love, so we didn't end up keeping it. But I just wanted to show you what can be done. So this is Adobe Bridge, which we'll be using, and this file NEF, that is the Nikon term for a raw file. And when you double click on it in Bridge, it'll open up in this really cool application, which is called Adobe Camera Raw, and it's just part of Photoshop. So you can see we're in Photoshop, but it's kind of like what do you call it? Not an add-on. Can't think of what it's called. I'll think of it. Okay, so as far as this image goes, it's not a bad pose. It looks a little bit too bright. The sky's washed out. It's not super clear. But with these sliders over here in Camera Raw, I can adjust everything. So I could make it so it's not so bright. I could make the difference between the lights and the darks a little bit stronger. That's contrast. Highlights, they're too bright, so I'm going to take them down just a little bit. So you can slide all the way just to see what exactly this slider does. And shadows, that'll be the dark areas. You can brighten those up a little bit if you want to. So see, if you slide all the way, you can really see the difference. And then white's fine, black's fine. Texture I don't worry about. And then clarity. Oh, you want to sharpen things up? Right there you go. And you don't want to go too high. You start to get, I don't know, maybe it's a look, but it doesn't look realistic anymore. So it's just a matter of preference, really. So I like to stay under about 10 or so in clarity. And then dehaze, that's when you've got noise to worry about. Remember how I told you, ISO. Vibrance is just going to make it a little bit more vibrant. And saturation is going to increase the strength of the colors. So with portraits, you don't want to go too far on that. And then I'll just show you real quick one of the filters that I like to use all the time. This graduated filter, it can fix a sky. So you just move up here, drag down through your sky, and you can change the temperature of your sky, make it cooler. You can make it darker. So see how that already is just kind of changing this image and making it better. This is between lights and darks, and I can make it more clear, I can make it more saturated, and then you just click off of it. Oops. Delete that. But see, it shows here where my filter is, and then I can see it before and after. So it makes a big difference. Keep doing that. I'm just clicking on the screen. And then when you're done in Camera Raw, you just open it into Photoshop. See if there's anything else you want to do in Photoshop, and we'll learn a lot more about Photoshop. I apparently cropped my last image to a square, so that's why it's just doing that. I don't really want to crop it. I kind of like it. So, and then in Photoshop, I'm just going to save the file. and I'm going to save it on my computer. And you can see that what I have still is the raw file, and I want to save it as a JPEG because I'm already done doing the editing. And I always keep both. I keep the raw file, keep the JPEG, and I don't know what just happened. There we go. It's just going slow. You can hear my breather. Yeah, my computer is breathing heavy because I've got too many things going on. So okay, and now I have a JPEG. So it's a smaller file, you know, it's not so many megabytes anymore. Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you a little taste of what you can do with raw files, how great they are, and I'm going to cut this one short. And don't feel like you have to know everything at the beginning. Like I said, I'm just giving you a little taste so you can get excited.